And welcome back to a St. Louis 7 following an OT with Oliver episode. This time had a ball with Dan Buffa. I can't even say KSDK and his website and his Twitter and everything he's got going on.
Just say @Buffa82 and go search.
In the latest thing that you've got going on that we touched on with the podcast. The latest thing that you've got where people, you got a pay scale thing and
Yeah. There's a paywall. It's going to be Ramble On with Buffa. It's a Substack account. As far as the link, the links they use with these websites are crazy. But I'll be sharing all of it on my socials today. I'm gonna be talking about why you should subscribe. So be looking for that today. But yeah, that's an exciting thing, especially when the Cardinals get playing again. That's where for the first time. This is the first time I'm trying this, putting stuff behind a paywall. So Ramble On with Buffa. I stole the first part of that title of the newsletter from a great Led Zeppelin song. That's one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. And that's kind of what I do, as you've pretty much figured out over the last hours. Ramble on.
Because we're going to go to this Stairway to Heaven. So we'll figure it out.
Here we go.
All right. So you went to Brentwood High School, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did we remember?
I remember writing for the high school newspaper and having to make my columns about 175 to 200 words, which was so hard. Hardest thing as a writer is to condense and lose material. But what I remember about high school is just, there was a freedom back then. I mean, all we had to do was just get good grades, be a good kid, and then go home. I remember it as the simplicity of all that, but most of all, the newspaper.
Tat on your right shoulder, right? Is that?
Yeah, this one?
That's about your boy, right?
That's about the boy. Kid he had a heart condition when he was, not even a month or six weeks old, and it was Wolff Parkinson White. It basically skyrocketed his heart rate, and so when he survived, I thought you gotta get this was the first tattoo. So basically, my son surviving a life-threatening heart condition was the time for me to put ink on my body.
That's a good time. That's a good reason. All right, stupid questions. Favorite concert in St. Louis?
I watched David Gray, and he's a British musician, and it's known for being kind of a singer-songwriter. He comes to the stage in a suit. I am forgetting where I saw him, but it was just a thrilling concert about 10 years ago, man. He came out, he plays all of his music. He moves around the stage like he's got something in his body. He's one of those musicians that just, almost like twerks his whole body around on stage, but phenomenal show. Glenn Hansard, who people will know as part of the Swell season. They made a movie called Once. I've seen him in concert, and of course, my favorite, Dave Matthews, man. He's phenomenal.
You're a Matthews guy, huh?
I'm a Matthews guy, man, especially when you get him in a live setting. And let's just say he's got a little reefer in him. He's got a little tea in him, and he just gets going, man. That's the best form of Dave Matthews, is a live Dave Matthews.
I had a good time. I saw him once. Go to Ted Drew's. What do you order?
Oh man, I think for me, it's just a good old fashioned. I'm trying to think of this thing that is. It's like a lemon, some kind of lemon, kind of concrete. But when in doubt, wherever you're at, an M&M concrete is my go-to. So if you were saying, Dan, I'm going to get ice cream or going to get anything, custard or ice cream, I say just give me an M&M concrete, because they always put so many M&Ms into a concrete. But yeah. Pretty much anything over at Ted Drew's. How about a hot fudge sundae? How about that? Just, swim around in that lake for the rest of the night.
Concrete. That's what you just got.
Upside down concrete. Yeah. It really is good, guys and girls.
You encounter 10 stop signs. How many do you roll?
I am a very stout defender of stop signs. I've always said if I sat out in a lawn chair, I live right in front of a very popular South City intersection here. And I said, if I stood out there and held up numbers, like if it was like a figure skating competition, I get a lot of 1s and 2s, but I think I'll probably roll 1. intent, but I like to be a good guy and stop at stop signs.
Well, you're a dad, so you're thinking about
Yeah, Dad, trying to be responsible.
people come and visit you, Dan. Where do you take them?
I would take them to the Hill because
Okay.
the Hill has so many things. You can park on Marconi. You can get you can get a cannoli. You can get a cup of coffee. You can get a slice of pizza, and you can also get all that history. I always think if you take somebody to a city, don't just take them to a restaurant. Don't take them to a museum or a sporting stadium. Take them to a place where you can just go, man, all the stuff that happened here on the Hill, so much history. So, and of course, being a quarter Italian, I have to take him to the Hill.
Have you seen the doc about the history on the Hill that was made last
I have.
Yeah.
I had Joey Pulio actually reached out to me, sent me that disc, and I loved it. It's actually one of the, I think he was using a drone. One of the drone pictures is my desktop photo now. It's just phenomenal. He got the whole street. That's a great documentary. That's something where if you said you want to know something about St. Louis, I would show you Joey Pulio's documentary. The last Little Italy.
100%. They were on the podcast, him and his partner. The drone's how the doc starts. And
it's perfect.
You know what's crazy about that too? As we lead into the last question, a lot of people who were in that doc are no longer with us. So it's
I mean,
it's cool that they got it done when they got it done.
Yeah, there's a really good. I forget his name, but he had the best quotes in that documentary. He was so straight, so unfiltered, and I just loved it. And then I think it was earlier this year where I think Joey posted an update, and it was just so sad that that's like the double-edged sword of love, man, is grief. People aren't going to stick around, and I wish a lot of people could come back, even just for a day.
So as we get ready to wrap this up again, if you want to listen to Dan's podcast conversation, it's OT with Oliver, wherever you get your podcast. This is how we end every St. Louis 7. Take as long as you want. What makes you proud to be a St. Louis?
I think it's just the fact that, as much of a black eye nationally as a city can get, I think people still come here. I think there's some, the sense of community. And I've been around the country. I've been out of the country. I think the sense of community is really strong here. And I think as long as you keep that, as long as you can just walk around. I mean, I feel like when I walk around South City, I can have a conversation with a stranger. And I don't think you can have that anywhere. I feel like just with anybody who loves their home, it's where you feel the most comfortable. It's where I know when I come across that bridge on the Poplar and I see the arch, I go, that's my home. And a few years ago when my family moved to Arkansas for my wife's job, every time I got to come back and drive over that bridge, I just said, that's home. I mean, for me, it means that it is a place where I have been and I am, and I'm going to be. I have that great Burt Lancaster line from Field of Dreams. I was born here and I'm going to die here, because it's where I want to be. When you are familiar with a place and you love it, especially as an adult. I mean, a lot of people they grow up in their neighborhoods and then they want to get out. I was never a kid that wanted to get out. I love this area. I love Francis Park. I love the brick homes that will be here long after we're all gone. I love driving down Macklin all the way from South City. You can basically take the longest way to the Hill and show everybody Macklin, the Macklin district. I just love all the nooks and crannies, the corners of St. Louis, not just the Arch and Union Station and all like the regular, things that you associate St. Louis with. But I appreciate, all the little neighborhoods, Dogtown. I mean, everything's lived in here. It's not superficial. And yeah, the crime rate's high, but you know what? When they say, if it was easy, everybody'd be living here.
And so that's why we don't make it easy.
We don't make it easy, I mean, does it turn into the Wire St. Louis downtown sometimes? Yeah, it is. So what? Dominic West will show up and it'll be okay.
I get my toasted ravs. You figure out where you need to go.
Okay. And you know what? Put a bulletproof vest on. Go get yourself a slice of pizza.
Hey, one last time, the new website, please plug.
Ramble On with Buffa. It's going to be a Substack website. It's going to be shared across all my socials, and it is going to be unfiltered Cardinal commentary, but also some Uber stories as well, because I think people just light up whenever I mention Uber. So it'll be a lot of fun reading, not like the stuff that puts you to sleep. It'll be active, it'll be opinionated, and you'll know it'll be coming from one source. This guy, the most polarizing guy in St. Louis, as I've been called.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's good time.
Good times,
Hey,
man. I
good
appreciate
time.
it. All right, man. I appreciate the time, David. Have a good one.